Hello there, and welcome to the Sleepy Science Channel. Tonight, we are drifting into the strange and endlessly fascinating world of dream analysis. Every night, your mind tells stories without asking for permission. It borrows pieces of memory, emotion, fear, and hope, then weaves them into experiences that can feel more vivid than waking life. Dreams can confuse us, comfort us, unsettle us, or stay with us for years. They can feel deeply personal, yet strangely familiar to people across cultures and centuries. Dream analysis is not about fortune-telling or decoding secret messages. It is about curiosity. It is about listening to the patterns your mind creates when the lights are off and the rules of logic loosen their grip. Across history, people have looked to dreams for meaning, guidance, creativity, and insight into themselves. Modern science now adds new layers to that curiosity, exploring how the sleeping brain builds emotion, memory, and story. As we move through this topic, you may recognize experiences of your own. Moments you thought were random may begin to feel connected. Questions you never thought to ask may quietly surface. If you enjoy these gentle journeys, I invite you to like, subscribe, or share a thought below. It helps others find their way here too, one sleepy soul at a time. But for now, all you need to do is relax. Let your body soften and allow your eyes to grow heavy. And let your mind unwind as the day fades away, while we explore this fascinating inner landscape together. Let's begin. Dream analysis is older than writing. We've even found evidence in ancient temples. Long before people kept diaries, they kept dream accounts. In parts of ancient Mesopotamia, scribes pressed reports into clay because leaders believed the night could carry warnings, instructions, and reassurance. Some dreams were treated like political intelligence. A ruler might change plans after a troubling vision, or seek a specialist who knew the traditional patterns of meaning. In the ancient Mediterranean, temples welcomed people who slept there on purpose, hoping for a healing dream. Farther east, early Chinese sources also described dreams as messages that deserved careful attention. What is striking is not that people believed dreams were important. It is that they built systems around them. They recorded, compared, debated, and taught methods for interpretation. Dream analysis began as a shared human technology for making sense of uncertainty. Your brain can stage a full story while your body stays safely still. During a vivid dream, you can run, speak, taste food, or feel panic surge through your chest. Yet your sleeping body does not leap from the bed to act it out. In one important sleep state, the brain reduces signals that would normally drive large muscles, so the body remains mostly still. Meanwhile, internal simulation continues at full strength. The mind assembles scenes, characters, and motion from memory, emotion, and expectation. It is like a private theater with an invisible safety lock on the door. That separation matters. It allows intense rehearsal without real risk. You can escape a predator, argue with a stranger, or fall from a height, then wake up unharmed. When that safety system breaks down, some people may physically move in ways that match their dream actions. That rare glitch reveals the usual rule. The dreaming brain can improvise drama, while the body waits in quiet protection. Dreams of being late often echo waking fears about letting others down. This dream tends to arrive with a very specific feeling. You are trying to move faster, but time keeps slipping away. The train is pulling out, the meeting has started, or someone is waiting and you cannot get there. Often, the details change from night to night, but the emotional shape stays the same. It can appear during busy seasons, after a mistake, or when you feel responsible for people who depend on you. Sometimes it shows up even when you are punctual in daily life because the dream is not keeping a schedule. It is testing a pressure point. The late dream can also reflect a fear of missing an opportunity or a belief that you must perform perfectly to be accepted. When you explore it, the useful question is simple. Who did you fear disappointing, and why did it matter so much in the dream? Many dreams borrow real memories, then remix them into surprising scenes. Dreams rarely invent from nothing. They tend to pull from what you have already lived, then blend pieces that never met in waking life. A childhood kitchen might appear with the lighting from a recent hotel. A friend's voice might speak words you heard in a film. This mixing can feel random, yet it often follows emotional logic. The brain stores experiences in overlapping networks, so one memory can trigger another that shares a mood, a place, or a theme. Sleep gives those networks freedom to combine in unusual ways. That is why a dream can feel strangely true, even when it is clearly impossible. The story is new, but the ingredients are familiar. This remixing may also explain why dreams can inspire creative ideas. They loosen the usual boundaries that keep memories in tidy boxes. In the night, the mind experiments. It asks, what if these pieces belong together? Nightmares often repeat until the waking problem behind them changes. A nightmare can feel like a cruel rerun. The same dread, the same trap, the same moment of helplessness that returns without warning. Repetition does not always mean the exact same plot repeats. Often, it is the same emotional storm wearing a new costume. The mind may be circling an unresolved conflict, a stressor that never fully calms, or a fear you avoid during the day. When nothing shifts in waking life, the brain keeps testing the same alarm. This is one reason nightmares can improve after a meaningful change. A conversation that ends uncertainty. A boundary that reduces pressure. A new sense of safety that the nervous system finally accepts. It can also explain why nightmare work focuses on daytime support, not on decoding symbols. If the root cause stays active, the sleeping brain keeps sounding the signal. When the cause softens, the nightmare often loses its grip. Being chased in dreams frequently follows avoidance during waking life. Chased dreams have a fast heartbeat built into them. You are pursued, you cannot find a safe place, and your choices shrink to pure escape. Often, the chaser is blurry or faceless, which can be a clue. The dream may not be about a person. It may be about something you do not want to face. A decision you keep postponing. A conversation you keep rehearsing but never start. A responsibility that feels heavier each day. Avoidance can bring short relief while awake, but it also keeps the nervous system on alert. At night, the mind turns that alertness into a simple story. Danger is behind you, so you run. The most helpful angle is not who was chasing you. It is, what did you refuse to turn around and look at? Sometimes the dream ends when you stop running. Even imagining that shift can change the pattern. Lucid dreamers can signal scientists with eye movements during REM sleep. Lucid dreaming sounds like fantasy, yet it has been tested in labs in a clever way. In this state, the dreamer realizes they are dreaming, while the dream continues. During one sleep stage, the body's large muscles are mostly quiet, but the eyes can still move. Researchers use that opening. Before sleep, volunteers agree on a simple pattern, like left-right, to mark the moment of lucidity. When the dreamer becomes aware, they perform the pattern. On sleep recordings, the signal appears clearly, timed within active dreaming. In some studies, dreamers then answered basic questions using more high codes, which turned the dream into a faint two-way channel. It is not a full conversation with spoken words. Still, it is astonishing. The sleeping mind can become self-aware, and it can reach out through a tiny window of movement, leaving a trace that waking science can measure. Some people dream in sounds and feelings, with little or no imagery. Not every dream is a movie. For some people, the main experience is emotional and sensory rather than visual. A dream may feel like a mood that wraps around you, or like a conversation heard in the dark, with no clear scene attached. This is especially relevant for people with limited visual experience. Those born blind often report dreams built from sound, touch, movement through space, and strong shifts in feeling. Even for sighted people, some dreams come as pure knowing. You sense that you are in danger or that someone is present without seeing a face. These variations remind us that dreaming is not a single format. It is the brain simulating experience using whatever tools are strongest for that person. When dream analysis assumes every dream is visual, it can miss the real content. Sometimes the most important detail is not what you saw. It is what you felt in your body and what that feeling resembled in waking life. Losing your phone in a dream can mirror anxiety about disconnection. This modern dream is surprisingly common, and it carries a sharp sense of urgency. You reach for your phone, and it is gone. Maybe you cannot call for help, or you cannot find your way, or you cannot answer someone who needs you. For many people, the phone represents more than a device. It is access, belonging, and control in one small object. Losing it can echo fears about being cut off from people or being unable to manage life's moving parts. It can also point to overload. When you feel constantly reachable, the dream flips that reality and asks how it would feel to be unreachable. Sometimes the dream is linked to guilt about delayed replies or worry that you are missing something important. The interpretation does not require a symbol book. It starts with one honest check-in. What kind of connection did you fear losing, and why did it feel dangerous in the dream? Dream content shifts with culture, even when sleep biology stays similar. The human brain cycles through sleep stages in broadly consistent ways across the world, yet dream themes can still differ by culture. The stories we tell ourselves during the day shape what the sleeping mind finds familiar at night. People often dream about the roles they live inside, such as work, family duty, social status, and community expectations. Cultural beliefs can also influence how a dream is interpreted after waking, and that interpretation can change what gets remembered and reported. In societies where dreams are openly shared, people may pay closer attention and recall more detail. In places where dreams are treated as private or meaningless, they may fade faster. Even the emotional tone can shift. Some cultures emphasize dreams as guidance, while others treat them as mental leftovers. This matters for analysis because it protects you from false universals. A dream is not floating outside the world. It is shaped by language, customs, and the stories your community teaches you to expect. A single smell during sleep can quietly change a dream's emotional tone. Scent has a direct route into memory and feeling, and the sleeping brain still listens for it. In experiments, researchers introduce an odor while someone sleeps, then ask for dream reports after waking. When the smell is pleasant, dreams tend to lean warmer. When it is unpleasant, dreams often tilt tense or uneasy. The dream usually does not announce the cause. Instead, the story shifts as if the mood simply belongs there. This is powerful because it shows how dream emotion can be steered without words, without images, and without conscious choice. It also hints at why a pillow that smells like a loved one can feel comforting, or why a smoky odor can spawn a sudden disaster scene. Your brain treats smell like evidence. Even at night, it uses that evidence to color the world it is creating. Dreams where you cannot speak often reflect frustration or unheard emotions. The moment is usually simple and awful. You try to explain, warn, apologize, or shout, and nothing comes out. Sometimes your mouth will not open. Sometimes the words dissolve into breath. This kind of dream can show up when you are swallowing opinions in daily life, or when you feel that someone is not truly listening. It can also appear in periods of social pressure, when you are afraid of saying the wrong thing. The dream turns that tension into a physical barrier. What makes it so vivid is that it feels like an emergency, yet the tool you rely on most is missing. When you explore it, the interesting part is not the silence. It is the message you are trying to send. Many people discover that the dream is pointing to a boundary that needs to be spoken, or a truth that feels risky to admit while awake. The same dream symbol can mean different things for different people. A snake in one person's dream might feel like danger, and in another, it might feel like wisdom. Water can be comfort for someone who loves swimming, and terror for someone who nearly drowned. Even a house can be safety for one dreamer, and confinement for another. That is why rigid symbol lists often disappoint. They treat a dream like a code, when it is closer to a personal language. The meaning is shaped by your history, your culture, and the emotional charge you carry into sleep. The brain picks images that are efficient for you, not for a textbook. A good approach is to ask, what did this symbol do, and what did it make me feel? Then ask, where have I felt that same feeling before? Symbols are not universal labels. They are shortcuts your mind chooses because they already matter to you. Dream analysis works best when it follows your life, not a dictionary. Dream dictionaries promise certainty. They can be tempting, especially when a dream leaves you unsettled. Yet they often flatten what makes dreaming useful, which is its connection to your real experiences. A dream about a bridge might be about travel for one person, and about commitment for another. The difference is life context. What is changing in your world? What choice is ahead? What emotion keeps returning? When you anchor interpretation in your own story, the dream stops being a puzzle and starts being information. One helpful method is to retell the dream in plain language, then name the strongest feeling in it. After that, look for a waking moment where the same feeling appeared, even if the details were different. The dream may be commenting on that moment, exaggerating it, or offering a different angle on it. That is why the dreamer is the best translator. Being naked in public dreams usually center on exposure, not sexuality. These dreams often arrive when you feel unprepared, evaluated, or seen too clearly. In the dream, the shock is not desire. It is vulnerability. You realize something private is on display, and you cannot fix it in time. Sometimes the crowd is laughing. Sometimes no one notices, which can feel even stranger. The dream may be replaying a fear that you will be judged for flaws, or that you will be revealed as less capable than people assume. It can also appear after a major change, like a new job, a new social group, or a role where expectations feel heavy. The mind chooses nakedness because it is a simple symbol for being unprotected. A useful question is, what part of you felt exposed lately? It might be competence, emotion, money, or even a secret hope. The dream turns that pressure into a scene you cannot ignore. Freud treated dreams as wishes shaped into disguise by inner conflict. In Freud's view, the mind does not stop wanting things when you fall asleep. It stops censoring them in the same way. He proposed that dreams can express forbidden desires, but they do so indirectly, because another part of the mind still resists. That tension creates the strange costumes of dreaming. A simple wish might appear as a confusing story. A craving for comfort might show up as finding food. Anger might appear as a fight with a stranger instead of the person you are actually angry with. Freud also separated the dream you remember from the deeper forces that built it. Whether or not you accept his conclusions, his impact is hard to miss. He made dreams a serious object of psychological study, not a superstition. He invited people to speak their dreams aloud, then follow the feelings and associations they sparked. That practice still echoes in therapy rooms today, even when the theory has evolved. Jung viewed dreams as messages from the psyche seeking balance. Jung often treated a dream like a self-correcting story. If your waking life leaned too hard toward one attitude, the dream might push back with its opposite. A person who feels strong all day might dream of weakness. Someone who avoids conflict might dream of confrontation. Jung also paid close attention to repeating characters and powerful images because he believed they could represent parts of the self that were ignored or undeveloped. Instead of reducing dreams to hidden wishes, he often asked what the dream was trying to teach. He encouraged people to engage with dream images through writing, drawing, and reflection, as if they were meaningful partners in a conversation. He also introduced the idea that some patterns in dreams might be widely shared across humanity, shaped by common themes of growth, loss, fear, and belonging. Even if you approach that idea cautiously, the balancing lens can be useful. A dream may be showing you what your daily persona leaves out. Teeth-breaking dreams commonly appear during periods of stress or self-doubt. The sensation is vivid. Your teeth crumble, loosen, or fall away, and the dream floods you with panic. Many people wake up checking their mouth, even when nothing is wrong. This dream often clusters around moments when confidence feels fragile, because teeth are tied to how we present ourselves. They are part of speech, appearance, and the ability to bite into the world. When life feels unstable, the mind picks an image that captures that fear of falling apart. For some people, it can also connect to embarrassment, aging worries, or a sense that they cannot hold things together. It is not a diagnosis, and it is not a prediction. It is a spotlight on insecurity. If you track when it appears, you may notice a pattern. It might arrive before a performance, after criticism, or during a time when you feel judged. The dream takes a quiet anxiety and makes it impossible to ignore. Calvin Hall counted dream themes to study personality and concern. Instead of treating dreams as mystical, Hall approached them like data. He and colleagues developed a method for coding dream reports, counting elements like characters, social interactions, settings, and emotions. Over many dreams, patterns emerged. Some people dreamed more about friends than strangers. Some had more aggression themes. Some showed recurring concerns about work, family, or status. The point was not to label a single dream. The point was to see what repeats across time, because repetition can reflect enduring preoccupations. This was an important shift. It suggested that dreams might be studied systematically, without requiring a single grand theory. It also gave researchers a way to compare groups and life stages, and to ask how events like stress or illness might change dream content. For everyday dream analysis, the takeaway is practical. One dream can be odd. 10 dreams can become a pattern you can learn from. The activation synthesis view says the brain makes meaning from random signals. This idea begins with a simple claim. During certain sleep stages, the brain generates bursts of activity that do not start as a story. They start as signals. The mind then does what it always does. It tries to explain what is happening. It assembles a narrative that fits the sensations, emotions, and memory fragments that are lighting up. That is why dreams can feel like a frantic improv performance. The brain is synthesizing. It is stitching. It is turning noise into meaning, because meaning-making is its default setting. This view does not say dreams are pointless. It says the starting point may be less intentional than we assume. For dream analysis, that can be oddly comforting. Not every frightening image must be a hidden message. Some dreams are the brain sorting and firing in the background, while your storytelling system scrambles to keep up. The fascinating part is not that dreams are strange. It is that the mind cannot resist turning chaos into a plot. Dreams of missing an exam often return when life feels high pressure again. People report this dream years, even decades, after leaving school. You arrive unprepared. You cannot find the room. You realize you forgot to study, or you do not even know what the subject is. The dream can be almost comical, except the panic is real. What it often reflects is not education. It is evaluation. Exams are a clean symbol for being judged, measured, and found lacking. When adult life recreates that pressure through deadlines, promotions, interviews, or public scrutiny, the sleeping mind pulls out an old template that already carries the right emotion. That is why it can show up before a presentation or during a period when you feel like an imposter. The dream may also point to perfectionism. It asks, what happens if you are not ready? The interesting work is to connect the dream's fear to the waking situation that currently feels like a test. The continuity view links dreams to the thoughts you carry into sleep. This approach treats dreaming as an extension of waking life, not a separate universe. The mind does not shut the door on daytime concerns. It reprocesses them. That is why dreams often feature familiar people, unfinished tasks, and emotions that were stirred but not resolved. The continuity view also explains why small daily details can sneak into dreams, like a song you heard once or a conversation you barely noticed. Sleep becomes a stage where the brain keeps working on what matters to you, even when you think you have moved on. Importantly, continuity does not mean dreams replay life like a camera. They transform it. They can exaggerate, compress, and swap details while preserving the emotional thread. This lens can make dream analysis feel practical. Instead of searching for secret meanings, you ask what is on your mind lately, even at the edges. Dreams often answer with a distorted mirror that still reflects the same concerns. Flying dreams can appear when confidence or personal freedom increases. Flying dreams can feel joyous, but they are not always calm. Sometimes you soar easily. Sometimes you wobble, flap, or worry you will fall. That variation can matter. When flying feels effortless, it can align with moments when you feel capable, independent, or newly unburdened. When it feels unstable, it can echo the fear that your success is fragile. These dreams can also appear after you make a decision that restores agency, like leaving a draining situation or setting a boundary that finally holds. The mind chooses flight because it is a pure metaphor for control over movement. You are not trapped by roads, walls, or gravity. Yet the dream can still test your belief in that freedom. Can you steer? Can you land? Can you trust yourself in the air? Dream analysis here is less about decoding a symbol and more about tracking a feeling. Where in your life did you recently feel lifted, and where did you fear losing that lift? The threat simulation idea treats dreams like practice for danger. Some researchers propose that dreams help the brain rehearse threats in a low-cost environment. In that view, a nightmare is not only cruelty. It can be training. The mind stages scenarios that demand fast choices, social reading, and escape skills. You learn what fear feels like, and you practice responding, even if the practice is clumsy. This theory is not saying every dream is a drill, and it is not saying nightmares are good. It is offering one possible reason that threatening themes are so common across people. Humans evolved in environments where danger mattered, and the brain is built to detect and predict risk. Dreaming may be one place where that prediction system runs exercises. For dream analysis, this can shift the question. Instead of asking only what the dream means, you can ask what the dream is preparing you for emotionally. Is it rehearsing conflict, rejection, the suit, or sudden loss? Even a symbolic threat can mirror a real worry your body is carrying. Modern therapy explores dreams without assuming hidden symbols. Many therapists today treat dreams as experiences, not riddles. They may ask you to describe what happened, then focus on your feelings, your choices, and your relationships inside the dream. Instead of declaring a fixed meaning, they invite curiosity. What did you want? What did you fear? Who helped you? Who blocked you? The dream becomes a small world where your patterns show themselves in a dramatic form. Some approaches look at dreams as reflections of current stress. Others treat dream characters as parts of the self. Others focus on themes like shame, desire, control, or safety. What they share is humility. They do not assume that a single image has a universal translation. They also respect that some dreams are just the mind processing noise, and some are deeply shaped by emotion. For listeners, this is encouraging. You do not need special knowledge to work with a dream. You need attention, honesty, and a willingness to ask better questions than a dictionary can. Getting lost in familiar places often reflects inner confusion. In these dreams, the map in your head stops working. You walk through a neighborhood you know, yet every turn leads somewhere wrong. A familiar building becomes a maze. Even your own home can sprout endless corridors. The dream can be unsettling because it undermines trust in what should be dependable. This theme often appears during transitions, when life is changing faster than your identity can keep up. You might be adjusting to a new role, grieving an old routine, or juggling conflicting demands. The lost dream gives you a simple experience of disorientation, which is what uncertainty feels like on the inside. It can also show up when you are avoiding a decision, because avoidance can make choices feel foggy. One useful angle is to notice whether you are alone or guided. Do you ask for help? Do you pretend you know the way? The dream may be showing how you handle uncertainty when you cannot rely on familiar landmarks. Some clinicians use dreams to map emotion rather than predict events. A dream can be dramatic, but its most reliable information is often emotional. Some clinicians listen for the feeling changes across a dream, because those shifts can mirror how you move through your day. Does anxiety become anger? Does hope collapse into shame? Does relief arrive only when you escape? The dream offers a compressed storyline where emotions are amplified, which can make patterns easier to spot. This method also helps avoid false certainty. It does not claim the dream predicts the future. It asks what the dream reveals about your current emotional landscape. For example, a dream might begin with confidence, then suddenly shift into helplessness after a small setback. That sequence can mirror a real pattern in waking life, where one criticism ruins your sense of stability. Tracking that arc can point to useful work, like building tolerance for imperfection or learning to ask for support earlier. Emotion mapping is less about symbolism and more about navigation. It helps you see where your inner weather changes. Dream journals improve recall by training attention, not by magic. Dream recall is not evenly distributed. Many people say they never dream, when the truth is, they do not remember. A journal can change that simply by teaching your brain that dreams matter. When you keep a notebook nearby and write even a few lines each morning, you create a habit of searching your mind before the day floods in. Over time, recall often improves. You start waking with fragments, then scenes, then full sequences. Some people also notice that their dreams become clearer because attention changes memory storage. The journal becomes a bridge between the night and the day. It can also reduce the feeling that dreams are chaotic because you begin to see patterns in themes, places, and emotions. Importantly, it is not about getting the perfect story. Even a single detail can be enough, like a phrase, a color, or a sensation. The act of recording tells your mind, this is worth keeping. Dreams about former partners often surface when emotions remain unresolved. These dreams can be confusing, especially if you feel finished with the relationship. Yet the sleeping mind often revisits people who once carried strong emotional weight. It does not always mean you want them back. Sometimes the dream is processing regret, anger, gratitude, or unfinished questions that never got answered. Sometimes it is about comparison. Your current life may be echoing an old dynamic, and the brain brings up the earlier person as a reference point. In other cases, the X in the dream is less a person and more a symbol of a chapter of your identity, like the version of yourself you were back then. The dream might also highlight a lesson you learned, or a boundary you did not have at the time. A helpful approach is to focus on what happens in the dream rather than who appears. Are you trying to reconnect? Are you trying to escape? Are you trying to speak honestly? The emotional goal of the dream often matters more than the casting. Writing dreams down can reveal patterns you never noticed awake. A single dream can feel like nonsense. A month of dreams can start to look like a story your waking mind has been whispering to itself. When you record dreams, you capture recurring themes, like being unprepared, seeking help, hiding, performing, or wandering. You also see how your dream world changes with life events. During stressful weeks, the tone may grow tense. During calmer periods, the dreams may become playful or curious. Patterns can appear in the kinds of people who show up, the places you return to, and the emotions that peak most often. This is valuable because the brain is not always direct while awake. It can rationalize, minimize, or distract itself. Dreams are less polite. They exaggerate what matters. Over time, the journal becomes a mirror that reflects your inner concerns without needing you to admit them first. The most surprising part is how consistent the patterns can be, even when the plots look different. Once you notice a pattern, you can begin to change what feeds it. Most people forget dreams within minutes unless they wake during them. Dream memory is fragile because it competes with the day the instant you open your eyes. The brain can produce a vivid inner world, then let it evaporate, like breath on glass. If you wake in the middle of a dream, the story is still active in short-term memory, so you have something to grab. If you wake later, after sleep has shifted, the dream can be gone before you even reach for a thought. That does not mean the dream was meaningless. It means the brain is not built to archive every night experience by default. Dream recall depends on timing, attention, and the thin bridge between sleep and waking. That is why people can honestly believe they never dream, then suddenly remember one in sharp detail after an early awakening. The dream was always there. The doorway back to it simply closed quickly. Waking slowly can help you hold a dream long enough to record it. If you leap into the morning, your mind snaps to plans, messages, and decisions, and the dream gets pushed out. A slower wake-up keeps you close to the same mental state that created the dream, and that closeness matters. Many people find that staying still for a few breaths helps. Keep your eyes closed and gently replay the last scene like a film you are trying to rewind. Start with any small anchor. It might be a feeling, a place, a single line of dialogue. Then let that anchor pull the next moment forward. Once you have a thread, put it into words. The first sentence is the hardest, and it does not need to be perfect. Even a short note can preserve the whole thing, because your brain can rebuild the rest from that cue later. This tiny morning ritual can turn dreams from vanishing sparks into something you can actually explore. Seeing deceased loved ones in dreams can accompany active grief processing. These dreams can feel like a gift or like a wound reopening, and sometimes they are both. The person may look healthy and present, as if time never touched them. You might speak, you might simply be near them, or you might wake with the ache of having lost them again. Many people report that these dreams arrive during waves of grief, anniversaries, or moments when life changes and you wish they were there to witness it. The dream can act like an emotional meeting place where memory and longing share the same room. It may also help the mind adjust to a new reality. You can miss someone and still keep living. Some dreams offer comfort, like reassurance through presence. Others express unfinished feelings, like guilt or anger that never had a safe place to land. The most important detail is often what you felt and what you needed in that brief night encounter. Your first morning thought can erase a dream by overwriting memory. Dream recall is like holding water in your hands. The moment you reach for something else, it slips away. A notification, a worry, a to-do list, even an exciting plan can overwrite the delicate trace of the dream. That is because waking cognition is powerful. It recruits language, logic, and attention fast, and it reorders the mind around the day's priorities. The dream, which was stored in a softer and less stable form, loses the battle. Some people notice a specific moment when this happens. They remember the dream, then think, I should answer that email, and suddenly, the dream is gone. This can be frustrating, but it is also revealing. It shows that remembering dreams is not just about the dream itself. It is about protecting a narrow window. If you want recall, treat the first minute after waking like a landing strip. Keep it clear. Let the dream touch down before the day takes over. REM dreams feel vivid because imagery circuits activate strongly. In this stage of sleep, the brain can light up regions that support visual experience, emotion, and fast association. The result is a dream that feels immersive, as if you are truly inside a place. Colors can seem bright, faces can feel intense, and movement can carry a sense of speed. Yet the vividness is not only visual, it is emotional. A small event can feel enormous because the dreaming mind is tuned to feeling rather than careful reasoning. That is why a dream can make your heart race, even when you are safe in bed. It is also why some people wake from these dreams with a mood that lasts, even if the story fades. Vivid dreaming can be thrilling, frightening, or deeply moving, depending on what the brain decides to simulate. When you analyze a vivid dream, it helps to ask what felt urgent in it. Intensity often points to what the mind is prioritizing, not what it is predicting. Dreams where doors will not open can reflect blocked choices. This kind of dream has a particular frustration. You pull a handle, you push, You search for the right key, and nothing gives. Sometimes the door is stuck. Sometimes it is locked. Sometimes it opens to another barrier, which can feel almost mocking. Many people have these dreams when they feel trapped between options, or when they sense that a path forward is closed by rules, finances, fear, or someone else's decision. The mind turns that stuckness into a physical obstacle because it is easier to feel in the body. What makes it useful for analysis is the detail. Are you alone or with others? Are you trying to leave or trying to enter? Do you keep forcing it, or do you look for another route? Those choices can mirror your waking style. Some people discover that the dream is not about a specific door. It is about permission. It is about whether you believe you are allowed to move on. Non-REM dreams are often more thought-like and less cinematic. Not every dream has chase scenes and vivid landscapes. In non-REM sleep, many dreams feel closer to thinking, with quieter imagery and more straightforward concerns. You might be planning, remembering, worrying, or talking through a problem, and the experience can feel like a half-formed inner conversation. People sometimes dismiss these dreams because they seem plain, yet they can be extremely revealing. A thought-like dream can show what your mind keeps returning to when distractions fall away. It could also hold subtle emotional clues, like a steady tension, a dull sadness, or a sense of unfinished business. These dreams may include everyday settings and real-world logic, which can make them easier to connect to waking life. If vivid dreams are like cinema, these are like private notes scribbled in the dark. Both matter. One shouts, the other whispers. When you analyze a thought-like dream, focus on the topic and the mood. The power is often in the quiet persistence, not in spectacle. Stress can increase dream intensity even when sleep time stays normal. You can get a full night of sleep and still wake up feeling as if you ran a marathon in your mind. Stress loads the nervous system with alertness, and that alertness can spill into dream emotion. Dreams may become faster, stranger, or more reactive. You might notice more conflict, more urgency, or more scenarios where something goes wrong. This does not require less sleep. It requires a brain that is carrying pressure. Even when the body rests, the mind keeps scanning for what could fail. Dream analysis can help here because it gives stress a shape. Instead of feeling vaguely overwhelmed, you can hear how your mind is telling the story of your life. Are you constantly trying to fix problems? Are you being judged? Are you rescuing others? Are you unprepared? Those themes can point to what your stress is really about, which is often more specific than it feels during the day. The dream is not adding stress. It is revealing how stress is already organized inside you. Dreams of crashing vehicles often track loss of control. Vehicle dreams can feel terrifying because they place you in charge of momentum. The brakes fail, the steering locks, or the road disappears. Sometimes you are driving. Sometimes you are a passenger. That distinction can matter. If you are behind the wheel, the dream may echo pressure to manage everything, even when conditions feel unstable. If you are in the passenger seat, it may reflect the fear that someone else is steering your life. These dreams often appear during transitions, when the future feels fast and hard to predict. They can also follow moments when you feel you made a mistake, and you fear consequences you cannot stop. For analysis, the most revealing detail is what happens right before the crash. Were you distracted? Were you rushing? Were you trying to impress someone? The dream can show a pattern of overcommitment or fear-driven speed. It is rarely about literal danger on the road. It is about agency, responsibility, and the dread of not being able to slow life down. Fever dreams feel strange because body signals flood the brain. When you have a fever, the body is sending intense information upward. Temperature, discomfort, dehydration, and inflammation can all alter how the brain processes sensation. In that state, dreams can become surreal, repetitive, or oddly intense. People often report looping scenes, distorted scale, or a sense that something simple is impossibly urgent. The oddness is not a message from the universe. It is the brain trying to build a coherent world while receiving unusual internal signals. Fever dreams can also blur the boundary between sleep and waking. You may feel half aware, then slip back into a strange narrative without realizing it. For dream analysis, these dreams are a reminder that biology matters. Sometimes the best interpretation is physical. The mind is responding to the body's distress. Even so, fever dreams can reveal how quickly the brain can turn sensation into story. A racing heart becomes a chase. Heat becomes fire. Pressure becomes doom. The brain is always narrating, even when the plot source is a thermometer. Alcohol can reduce REM early, then trigger vivid rebound dreams. Alcohol often sedates at first, which can feel like easy sleep. Yet it can disrupt sleep architecture, especially later in the night. When REM is suppressed early, the brain may compensate with a rebound later, and that rebound can bring intense dreams. People sometimes wake after drinking with vivid, emotional, or unsettling dream fragments, even if they do not remember much else. This effect can also pair with more awakenings, which increases the chance of recall. The result is a night that feels busy in the mind and less refreshing in the morning. For dream analysis, it is important not to overinterpret these nights. A vivid dream after alcohol might be driven by physiology rather than deep personal meaning. Still, the content can be shaped by what you were already carrying emotionally, because rebound dreaming amplifies what is active. If someone wants clearer dream patterns, reducing alcohol close to bedtime can make a difference. It is not moral. It is mechanics. The sleeping brain has rhythms, and alcohol can push those rhythms off balance. Late night sleep contains more REM, which is why morning dreams linger. Sleep changes across the night, like a slow tide. Earlier hours tend to include more deep, non-REM sleep, which supports physical restoration. As morning approaches, REM periods often become longer and more frequent. That timing has a practical consequence. Many people wake up directly out of REM in the final stretch of the night, and dreams from that stage can feel vivid, story-driven, and easier to remember. It also explains why snoozing can create extra dream time. The brain slips back into REM quickly, and you may return to the same dream world, or enter a new one. Morning dreams can therefore carry a special intensity, and they can influence mood because you wake so close to them. For dream analysis, it can help to note when you woke. A dream remembered at dawn may not be more meaningful than one forgotten at midnight. It is simply more available to memory. Timing can shape what you think your dream life looks like, because you recall what you wake from, not what you slept through. Forgetting something crucial in a dream mirrors waking overload. In these dreams, the mistake feels catastrophic. You forgot a passport, a baby, a deadline, or the one item that makes everything work. The panic is immediate because the dream tells you there is no time to fix it. This theme often appears when your waking mind is stretched thin. Too many tasks, too many roles, too many expectations, and not enough mental space. The dream turns that strain into a single dramatic failure because the brain loves a simple story. It can also reflect the fear of disappointing others, especially if the forgotten item affects someone else. Sometimes the dream points to a real neglected need, like rest, play, or health, which does not feel urgent until sleep gives it a loud voice. For analysis, the best question is what the forgotten thing represents. Is it responsibility? Is it identity? Is it safety? Is it belonging? The dream may be highlighting the cost of carrying too much without support. Sleep paralysis can blend dream imagery with waking awareness. This experience can be frightening because it mixes two worlds. You become aware, you can sense the room, and yet you cannot move. The body is still in a sleep state that limits muscle activity, while the mind has surfaced into consciousness. In that strange overlap, dream imagery can leak into waking perception. People may sense a presence, hear footsteps, or see shadowy forms, even though the room is unchanged. Different cultures have given these episodes different explanations, from spirits to alien visits, because the sensations can feel so real. Understanding the mechanism can reduce fear. It is a timing glitch, not a supernatural attack. For dream analysis, sleep paralysis is a powerful reminder of how easily the brain can generate convincing experiences. The mind does not need external input to create a figure in the corner. It can do it all on its own, then stamp it with the feeling of certainty. If you have had sleep paralysis, the most helpful focus is safety and sleep hygiene, not symbolic interpretation. The episode is about state overlap, not hidden meaning. False awakenings can trap you in loops of waking inside a dream. A false awakening feels like the most convincing trick your mind can play. You dream that you woke up. You might sit up, check the time, walk around, even start your day. Then something is off. The light is wrong, the room shifts, or you wake again, only to realize you are still dreaming. Some people experience several layers, like a hall of mirrors where every exit opens onto another sleep scene. This can be funny in retrospect, but in the moment it can feel unsettling because it steals the one thing you trust, your sense of being awake. These dreams often appear during fragmented sleep, naps, or periods of stress, when the boundary between states is thinner. For dream analysis, false awakenings can point to anxiety about control or readiness, but they can also be a simple byproduct of unstable sleep. Either way, they are a vivid demonstration of how the brain constructs reality. It can build a morning routine from scratch, complete with convincing detail, and it can do it while you never left the pillow. Dreams of being watched often reflect social pressure. In these dreams, the feeling is exposure. Someone is observing you, judging you, or waiting for you to fail. It might be a crowd, a camera, a teacher, a boss, or a nameless presence. The details can vary, but the emotional core is the same. You are on stage without choosing to be. These dreams can intensify during periods when your reputation feels at stake, like starting a new job, joining a new group, or navigating conflict. They can also appear when you are harshly monitoring yourself, even if nobody else is. The dream turns self-criticism into an outside watcher, because that makes the pressure easier to understand. For analysis, notice what you are doing when you are watched. Are you performing? Are you hiding? Are you frozen? The dream may be pointing to a fear of imperfection, or a belief that love must be earned through flawless behavior. It could also reveal a longing for approval that feels hard to admit while awake. Recurring dreams repeat emotions more than specific storylines. People often say they have the same dream again, yet when they describe it, the plot changes. The setting shifts, the characters swap, and the events rearrange, but the feeling is unmistakable. The dread, the shame, the urgency, the longing. Recurrence often means the nervous system is replaying an emotional problem it has not resolved. The dream becomes a container for that emotion, because sleep is a time when the mind continues processing without the daytime distractions that keep you moving. This is why recurring dreams can last for years, then suddenly stop when life changes. The story did not get solved like a riddle. The emotional pressure changed. For dream analysis, track the repeating feeling first. Then ask what in your waking life regularly triggers that same feeling. It could be a relationship dynamic, a work pattern, or a belief about yourself. Once you see the emotional repetition, you can start to change the waking conditions that feed it. The dream is less interested in plot and more interested in the lesson your body has not absorbed yet. Many people dream of falling as the body relaxes into sleep. Falling dreams can arrive at the edge of sleep when your muscles release and your brain is still partly monitoring the body. Sometimes there is even a sudden jerk, as if you are catching yourself. This is often linked to a normal transition where the nervous system shifts into deeper rest. The brain can misinterpret that drop in muscle tone as actual falling, and it builds a quick story to explain the sensation. That is the fascinating part. The dream can be a response to physiology, not a symbolic message. Yet falling dreams can also appear in longer, fully formed dreams, where the emotional meaning may matter more. The same sensation can be used in different ways. In one case, it is a brief sleep onset glitch. In another, it can reflect insecurity, instability, or fear of losing control. For analysis, it helps to notice timing. Did it happen as you were drifting off, or deeper into the night? Timing can tell you whether the dream began in the body or in the mind. Nightmares during grief rehearse life without someone familiar. Grief is not only sadness, it is a reordering. The brain must update countless maps, like who you call, who you live for, who belongs in the next scene. Nightmares can appear when that updating is painful. You might dream of searching, of failing to save someone, or of being left behind. These dreams can carry guilt, anger, confusion, and fear, because grief contains all of those emotions. They can also come in waves. You might have calmer nights, then a sudden nightmare that feels like being pulled backward. This does not mean you are doing grief wrong. It can be the mind practicing a new world where the person is absent, and practice can be brutal at first. For dream analysis, the key is compassion. Ask what the dream is protecting. It may be expressing the terror of forgetting, or the guilt of living on, or the simple shock that love does not have a place to go anymore. Sometimes understanding the emotional need in the nightmare can soften it, even if the loss remains. Trauma nightmares can replay real events with brutal accuracy. Unlike symbolic nightmares, trauma nightmares can feel like time travel. The dream returns you to a moment your nervous system never filed away as finished. Details can be sharp, the body can react as if danger is present, and waking can feel like escaping. This is not the mind being dramatic. It is the brain's threat system failing to mark the memory as past. Trauma can store experiences in a fragmented way, and sleep can trigger those fragments. The nightmare can then repeat, not as a message, but as a loop. This is why trauma-informed care is so important. Interpretation alone is not enough, because the issue is not hidden meaning. It is safety and regulation. Some people benefit from therapies that reduce the emotional charge of the memory, and from techniques that change the nightmare script. Others need support that stabilizes sleep first, because exhaustion can worsen symptoms. For dream analysis, the rule is simple. If a dream is a replay of trauma, treat it as a symptom that deserves care, not as a puzzle that needs decoding. Imagery rehearsal therapy changes nightmares by rewriting endings while awake. In this approach, you pick one nightmare you know too well, then you reshape it on purpose in daylight. You write a new version where safety returns, power returns, all the danger dissolves. The new ending does not have to be realistic. It has to feel relieving. Then you rehearse that revised dream like a short story, often for a few minutes each day. Over time, many people find the nightmare loses force or changes into something less threatening. The fascinating part is what this suggests about the sleeping mind. Dreams are not fixed films. They are flexible scripts that can be influenced by what you practice while awake. This is not pretending the fear never happened. It is teaching the brain a different route through the same emotional territory. For some people, it becomes a turning point, because sleep stops feeling like an ambush. People with PTSD often fear sleep because dreams feel unpredictable. When sleep becomes dangerous, the bed stops being a refuge. For many people with post-traumatic stress, the fear is not only about memories in the day. It is about what might happen at night. Dreams can arrive without warning, and they can carry the body back into the same alarm state. Even the anticipation of a nightmare can raise anxiety, which makes it harder to fall asleep, which can worsen exhaustion, and exhaustion can make symptoms sharper. It can become a loop that feels impossible to step out of. Some people try to stay awake to avoid dreams, which is understandable, yet it often increases distress over time. Dream work here is not about symbolism or clever interpretation. It is about safety, stability, and control returning to the sleep experience. The most hopeful point is that nightmares can change. With treatment and support, sleep can become a place where the nervous system finally relearns calm. Nightmares can arise from medication side effects, not meaning. It is easy to assume every intense dream is a message, especially when it feels vivid and new. Yet sometimes the simplest explanation is chemistry. Certain medications can alter sleep stages, change dream intensity, or increase awakenings that make dreams easier to remember. The result can be a sudden spike in disturbing dreams, even when nothing major has changed in your life story. That matters for dream analysis because it protects you from misreading your own mind. A nightmare after a new prescription does not automatically reveal hidden fears. It may reflect a brain adjusting to a shifted balance of signals. If someone notices a pattern that matches medication timing, it can be worth discussing with a clinician. There may be alternatives, dose adjustments, or strategies that reduce the impact. The key idea is respectful realism. Dreams can be meaningful, but they can also be side effects. Good interpretation begins by checking the obvious. Sleep apnea can trigger distressing dreams through oxygen drops. Breathing interruptions can jolt the body into repeated mini-emergencies. When airflow stops or narrows during sleep, oxygen can dip and carbon dioxide can rise. The brain reacts as if something is wrong, because something is wrong. That internal alarm can spill into dreams as choking, suffocating, drowning, or being trapped. People sometimes blame themselves for these themes, as if the dream is confessing a fear. In reality, the body may be sending a signal that the airway is struggling. This is one of the clearest examples of the body writing the dream's plot. It also explains why treatment for sleep apnea can change dream tone and daytime mood at the same time. Better breathing means fewer alarms. Fewer alarms means fewer fear-shaped dreams. For analysis, this is a reminder to consider sleep health. The most useful interpretation of a distressing dream might be medical, not metaphorical. Dreams of storms often follow emotional turbulence. Storm dreams can feel dramatic even when you are not an anxious person. The sky darkens, wind rises, and the world becomes unstable. Often the storm is not the point. The point is what you do inside it. Do you look for shelter, protect someone, freeze, or try to control the weather? These dreams tend to appear when emotions are swirling in waking life, like conflict, change, or uncertainty that has not settled. The mind chooses a storm because it matches a feeling in the body. It captures tension and unpredictability in one clear scene. Sometimes the storm passes and the dream ends with relief, which can mirror a sense of surviving a hard season. Sometimes it does not pass, which can reflect overwhelm. Dream analysis can use storm dreams as a weather report, not a prophecy. The question is not, what will happen? The question is, what are you carrying right now that feels like it could break open? Strong emotions before bed color dreams more than daytime facts. Your brain does not file experiences by importance the way a calendar does. It often files them by feeling. That means a small moment with big emotion can outweigh a busy day of ordinary events when you sleep. A tense argument before bed can seed dreams of conflict, even if the rest of the day was fine. A heartfelt conversation can produce warm dreams that linger into morning. This is why bedtime routines matter for dream tone. It is also why dream analysis benefits from looking at the evening, not only the week. What was the last emotional note your mind heard? What did you carry into the dark? The dream may not replay the event, yet it may carry its emotional signature. This can feel surprising when a dream seems to come from nowhere. Often it comes from the last feeling you tried to swallow. The practical takeaway is simple. If you want calmer dreams, protect the emotional atmosphere before sleep. Quiet evening routines can reduce nightmare frequency. When the nervous system stays revved, dreams often follow the same speed. Many people find that predictable evening habits lower arousal, which can reduce the intensity of nighttime distress. This is not about perfect rituals. It is about giving the brain a clear signal that the day is over. Dimmer light, calmer conversation, less alarming media, and a consistent wind down can all help. For some people, writing worries down before bed keeps them from looping in dreams. For others, a warm shower, slow stretching, or a familiar book shifts the body towards safety. The interesting part is that dreams respond to cues. They are not isolated from your habits. They are shaped by your state. Dream analysis sometimes begins with lifestyle, because a dream can be a symptom of overload as much as a story about meaning. If nightmares are frequent, routines can become a gentle form of prevention. They reduce the chances that your mind enters sleep already braced for impact. Children's nightmares peak during fear learning stages. In childhood, the brain is building a map of what is safe and what is not. That learning can make sleep feel vivid. As children grow, they develop new abilities to imagine threats, understand separation, and anticipate consequences. Nightmares can surge during these leaps, even in secure homes, because the mind is practicing new categories of fear. Monsters often stand in for abstract worries a child cannot name. Darkness becomes a stage for uncertainty. A nightmare can also appear after a new school, a move, or a change in family routine. The dream is not proof that something terrible happened. It can be the mind testing its new tools. For caregivers, the response matters. Calm reassurance teaches the child that fear can be survived. Over time, many children outgrow frequent nightmares as their nervous system gains stability and language. For dream analysis, childhood nightmares show something important. Dreams are part of development. They help the brain learn the contours of the world, including its shadows. Dreams of being unable to run reflect powerlessness. This dream has a cruel rhythm. You try to sprint, but your legs move like they are underwater. The danger is close, yet your body will not respond. People often wake with a surge of frustration because the dream feels like betrayal by your own muscles. The theme can appear when you feel stuck in waking life, like you cannot act, cannot change a situation, or cannot defend yourself in a conflict. It can also arise during periods of fatigue, when your body is already drained and the mind translates that drained state into slow motion. The interesting part for analysis is the moment you realize you cannot run. What is chasing you? What is at stake? Who might help? Sometimes the dream shifts when you do something other than run, like hiding, turning to face the threat, or calling out. Those alternatives can hint at waking strategies you have not fully tried. The dream turns helplessness into a scene, so you can finally feel it clearly. Adults can still experience night terrors, though less often. Night terrors are not the same as ordinary nightmares. They usually rise out of deep sleep, and they can involve sudden screaming, intense fear, and a body that seems awake while the mind is not fully conscious. An adult may sit up, breathe fast, and look terrified, yet have little or no memory afterward. This can be startling for partners and families because it looks like a panic episode arriving from nowhere. In adults, night terrors can be linked to sleep deprivation, stress, irregular schedules, fever, or certain substances. They can also run in families. Dream analysis is not the main tool here, because the episode often happens outside normal dreaming. The focus is sleep safety and stability. Reduce triggers, protect the sleep environment, and seek clinical guidance if episodes are frequent or risky. The fascinating point is that the sleeping brain can generate intense fear without a remembered story. It shows how powerful the body's alarm system can be, even when the mind cannot explain it. The brain's fear center stays active during REM sleep. During REM, the brain can generate strong emotional tone, including fear, without needing a real threat in the room. This helps explain why a dream can feel urgent, even when it is absurd. The emotional system is engaged, and it can flood the dream with meaning. A minor detail can trigger panic. A stranger's glance can feel like danger. This is one reason nightmares can be so convincing. The feeling arrives first, then the dream invents a plot that matches it. Yet there is also a hopeful angle. REM may offer a space where fear can be experienced in a safer context, which could support emotional processing over time. Dream analysis can use this knowledge to separate emotion from narrative. When a dream frightens you, it does not always mean your life is in danger. It may mean your fear system is active, and it needs a story. The practical question becomes, what was the feeling? And what does that feeling resemble in your waking life? Logical control quiets in dreams, so absurd scenes feel normal. One of the strangest parts of dreaming is how quickly you accept nonsense. You might be talking to a childhood friend inside your workplace, and it feels perfectly reasonable. You might walk through a wall, and you barely react. This happens because the brain systems that support critical evaluation are often less active in typical dreaming. The mind is still creative, still emotional, still fluent in story, but it is less strict about checking facts. That shift can be frustrating when you wake, yet it is also part of what makes dreams valuable for creativity. Without a constant reality referee, new combinations can form. Dream analysis can use absurdity as a clue. What did the impossible scene allow you to express? What shortcut did it take? A dream might compress years into minutes or turn a subtle fear into a dramatic event because it does not need to argue its case. It can simply show you. The meaning is often in what the absurdity made possible. Dream emotions can linger all day without memory of scenes. You can wake up with a heavy mood and have no idea why. Later, a small trigger might bring back a fragment, a face, or a single line, and you realize you were dreaming intensely. This happens because emotions can be stored and carried forward even when the narrative is lost. The dream may fade, yet the body keeps the residue. That residue can shape how you interpret the day. You might feel irritable, tender, anxious, or oddly hopeful, and you may attribute it to breakfast or traffic when it began in the night. This is one reason dream analysis can be helpful even for people who rarely remember full dreams. If you wake with a mood, treat it like a clue. Ask what kind of dream could have produced it, and what in your life matches it. Over time, you may learn your own patterns. Certain stresses produce certain morning feelings. Certain comforts do too. The dream may be gone, but its emotional fingerprint remains. The visual cortex can activate as if you are truly seeing. When you dream of a bright hallway, a sunset, or a familiar face, the experience can feel vivid because the brain is not only recalling images, it is generating them. In many dream states, visual processing regions become active in ways that resemble waking perception. That is why a dream can feel like you are inside a scene, not merely thinking about it. Yet dreams can also distort vision. Details shift, text refuses to stay stable, and faces can change when you look again. These quirks remind us that the dream image is built on the fly. It is a live construction, not a recorded video. For dream analysis, this is fascinating because it shows the mind's creative power. Your brain can paint a world with lighting, depth, and movement while your eyes are closed. It can even invent places you have never visited, using fragments of real memories as building blocks. The dream is a private cinema, and the projector is your own nervous system. Dreams where you argue may express suppressed waking conflict. Argument dreams can feel exhausting because they pull you into a fight you did not choose. You might be shouting, pleading, defending yourself, or watching someone twist your words. Often, these dreams arrive when you are avoiding confrontation in daily life. The mind takes the tension you keep contained, then lets it erupt in sleep, where the consequences feel safer. Yet, not every argument dream points to anger at the person in the dream. Sometimes the other person represents an authority, a rule, or an inner critic that you struggle with. What matters is the theme of resistance. Someone is blocking you, and you are finally pushing back. Dream analysis can focus on what you were trying to achieve in the argument. Were you asking for respect? Were you demanding fairness? Were you trying to be believed? Those goals often point to real needs that feel hard to voice. The dream gives you a rehearsal space. It shows you the words you wish you could say and the fear that stops you from saying them. The motor system is inhibited so you do not act dreams out. Dreams can be full of movement, yet your body usually stays still. This is because the brain reduces the signals that would drive large muscles during certain sleep stages. It is a protective feature. Without it, a dream of running could turn into running into a wall. A dream of fighting could injure a partner. The brain still generates the sense of action, but it keeps the body in a safer mode. The fascinating part is that you can feel effort in a dream, even when your muscles are quiet. The mind simulates the feeling of movement using internal models, not actual motion. This also explains why you can dream of speaking fluently while your mouth does not move. Dream analysis can use this as a reminder that dreams are embodied simulations. They feel physical because the brain is using the same systems that support real action, even while it locks the body down. That lock is one reason sleep can be restorative. Your mind can play through intense scenes, and your body remains protected. When inhibition fails, people may physically enact dream actions. In some people, the normal safety lock of sleep does not fully hold. They may kick, punch, shout, or leap from bed while dreaming, often acting out the dream's storyline. This pattern is associated with a condition called REM sleep behavior disorder, and it can be dangerous for the sleeper and anyone nearby. What makes it so interesting is what it reveals. The dream is not a distant fantasy. It is closely linked to motor planning in the brain. When the usual muscle inhibition weakens, the dream can spill into real movement. Clinically, this condition is important because it can sometimes appear before other neurological symptoms. That does not mean every sleep talker is at risk. Most sleep talking is harmless. Still, persistent, violent enactment deserves medical attention. For dream analysis, the lesson is clear. Dreams are built from real brain systems, not from metaphor alone. The same machinery that moves your body in the day can be activated in sleep. Usually it stays safely contained. Sometimes it does not, and the boundary becomes visible. Some dreams solve problems by loosening rigid thinking. When you are awake, your mind often follows familiar tracks. You use the same assumptions, the same habits, the same definitions of what is possible. Dreams can disrupt those tracks. They mix ideas freely, jump across time, and ignore social expectations. That looseness can sometimes create a new path through a problem. A dream might present a metaphor that suddenly makes sense of a conflict. It might show a surprising alternative, like walking away instead of fighting. It might even offer a direct solution to a creative puzzle, because it combines elements you would not pair while awake. This does not mean dreams are magical geniuses. It means they allow more combinations. Dream analysis can treat these moments as brainstorming from a different mental mode. If a dream offers an idea, write it down before judging it. Ask what the dream is trying to change in your perspective. Sometimes the value is not the literal answer. It is the fresh angle, the sense that there are more options than your waking mind was allowing. Creative dreams recombine old material into new insight. Many people imagine creativity as lightning from nowhere, and dreams can feel like that. Yet the dream's magic often comes from recombination. It pulls from recent experiences, long-stored memories, and emotional themes, then stitches them into a new pattern. That is why a dream can produce a melody, a scene, or a concept that feels original, even though its parts were already in your life. The brain is doing a kind of nighttime collage. It is not constrained by practicality, so it can try bold pairings. A childhood image might merge with a current project. A fear might reshape into a joke. A remembered phrase might become the perfect line for a story. Dream analysis can support creativity by helping you harvest these fragments. The key is speed. Write the dream material down before it fades, then revisit it later with a waking editor. Dreams are generous with raw material. Waking life is better at shaping it into something usable. Together, they can create surprises. Dream analysis separates inspiration from prediction. A powerful dream can feel like a warning, especially when it is vivid and emotional. It is tempting to treat it as a forecast. Yet dreams are more often reflections than prophecies. They express fears, hopes, memories, and patterns of thought. They can inspire choices, but they do not reliably predict events. This distinction matters because it keeps dream analysis grounded. If you dream of an accident, it may reflect anxiety about control, not a future crash. If you dream of a reunion, it may reflect longing, not an inevitable meeting. Treating dreams as predictions can create unnecessary fear. or false certainty. Treating them as inspiration can be useful. A dream can highlight what you care about. It can reveal what you avoid. It can show you the emotional cost of a path you are taking. The safest way to use dream insight is to ask, what is this dream urging me to notice about my inner world? Then decide how to respond in waking life with calm, practical judgment. People blind from birth dream through sound, touch, and space. When vision has never been part of experience, the dreaming mind builds its world from other materials. Many blind dreamers describe scenes made of voices, footsteps, textures, temperature, and the sense of moving through a room. Instead of seeing a friend, you might recognize them by rhythm of speech, a laugh, or the way they stand close. Places can be mapped through echoes, angles, and distance, like an inner sonar. Emotion is often vivid because it does not need pictures to feel real. This matters for dream analysis because it proves dreams are not primarily about images. Dreams are about simulation. The brain rehearses life using the senses it knows best. It also reminds us to listen for what a dream feels like, not only what it looks like. Sometimes the most meaningful detail is a tone of voice, a hand on a shoulder, or the sudden silence in a hallway. Those who lose sight later may dream visually for years. If someone once saw the world, the brain often keeps a library of images that can still appear at night. People who lose sight later in life have reported dreams that remain visual for a long time, even when waking life no longer is. In some cases, the images slowly fade and are replaced by other senses. In other cases, vision continues to show up in dreams with surprising clarity. Dream analysis can use this as a clue about memory. The brain does not throw away old formats. It stores them, then reuses them when it builds an inner world. This also shows why dream content can feel like time travel. A dream may return you to a street you can no longer see, yet you recognize it instantly. That recognition can carry grief, comfort, or both. It can also offer a gentle reminder that you still contain earlier versions of your life. Dreams can keep those versions accessible, even when waking reality has changed. Many bilingual speakers dream in emotionally linked languages. A bilingual person might speak one language at work and another at home, and dreams often follow the emotional thread rather than the practical one. People report dreaming in the language tied to childhood, family, romance, or conflict, even if they use another language all day. Sometimes dreams switch languages mid-scene, which can feel like the mind is choosing the best tool for each feeling. A scolding might arrive in the language that once carried authority. A love confession might arrive in the language that holds intimacy. Dream analysis becomes richer when you notice this, because language itself is part of meaning. The words you hear in a dream are not just dialogue. They are identity. They can reveal which part of you is speaking and which part of you is listening. If you wake with a line that lingers, write it down exactly as it came. The language choice may be the clue that tells you why it landed so deeply. Dreams without a self can still carry emotional meaning. Some dreams do not place you at the center at all. You might watch a scene like an invisible observer, or experience shifting viewpoints, or follow a story with no clear identity attached. People sometimes assume these dreams are less personal, yet they can be intensely emotional. The feeling can arrive without a body, like dread spreading across a landscape or relief blooming in a room. This suggests that dreams can process emotion at a distance, which can be easier for the mind. It can explore fear, loss, or desire without making you the character who must endure it directly. For dream analysis, these dreams invite a different question. Instead of asking, "What did I do?" ask, "What did the scene express?" Notice the mood, the turning point, and what the story seemed to value. A dream can show you the shape of an emotion, even when it never gives you a name tag. Sometimes the absence of self is the mind's way of making space to feel safely. Dream houses often represent different aspects of identity. House dreams can be strangely intimate, because a house is both a place and a boundary. You might dream of your childhood home, a house you have never visited, or a version of your current home that has changed. Rooms can feel welcoming, locked, messy, or forgotten. A hidden attic might appear, or a basement that makes you hesitate. This does not mean each room has a fixed meaning. It means the house can act like a stage for how you relate to yourself. Which parts feel lived in and which parts feel avoided. For dream analysis, focus on how you move through the space. Do you invite others in or keep them out? Do you repair, explore, or flee? The house may also reflect change over time. New rooms can appear when your life expands. Cracks can appear when stress builds. These dreams can be powerful because they make identity visible as architecture, and architecture is easier to walk through than an abstract feeling. Faces in dreams are composites built from memory fragments. A dream can introduce a stranger who feels oddly familiar, and that can be unsettling. One reason is that the brain is excellent at blending stored impressions. It can take a jawline from one person, eyes from another, and a voice from someone you heard once, then assemble a believable new face. This is not the mind receiving secret visitors. It is the mind using what it already has. Faces are stored as patterns, and patterns can be mixed. Dream analysis can use this to ease a common worry, which is that a dream stranger must be a hidden message about someone specific. Sometimes the stranger is simply a new container for an old feeling. Notice what that person did, not only what they looked like. Were they comforting, demanding, seductive, or threatening? The emotional role often matters more than their identity. The composite face is the mask. The feeling beneath it is the story your mind is trying to tell. Dream places stitch together real locations into new spaces. Many dream settings feel real, yet you cannot find them on any map. That is because dreams often build places like collages. A staircase from your school might connect to a hallway from an old apartment. A cafe might have the counter from one city and the windows from another. The result can feel more convincing than a photograph because it fits the emotional logic of the dream. The brain is not aiming for geography. It is aiming for meaning and flow. This is why dream places can become recurring, even when they never existed in waking life. Your mind has built a set, and it knows how to use it. For dream analysis, pay attention to the direction you are traveling. Are you searching, escaping, returning, or arriving? The place may be a mood made physical. A maze can mirror complication. A wide open field can mirror relief. The stitched setting is a clue about how your mind organizes experience, which is often more revealing than the address itself. Dream time can stretch far beyond real minutes. A dream can feel like an entire day, with plans, detours, conversations, and emotional arcs, yet only a short span may have passed in bed. This mismatch can be startling, and it shows how the brain constructs time. In waking life, time is anchored by clocks and shared reality. In dreaming, time is story-based. If the narrative demands a long journey, the mind can simply deliver the feeling of longness. It can compress, expand, and skip without asking permission. Dream analysis can use this to understand why some dreams feel life-changing. A dream might give you the sense that you lived through a full reconciliation, even if it took moments. That emotional completion can be real, even if the timeline is invented. It also explains why nightmares can feel endless. When fear drives the plot, the mind may stretch the experience because it keeps scanning for resolution. Time in dreams follows meaning, not minutes, and meaning can be elastic. Dream dialogue can surprise the dreamer. Sometimes a dream character says something that feels sharper or wiser than your waking thoughts, and you wake wondering where it came from. The surprise is real, but the source is still you. In dreams, different parts of memory and emotion can speak without the usual filters. A character might voice a truth you avoid, or a kindness you rarely offer yourself. Because the words arrive from a mouth that is not yours, they can land with extra force. This is one reason people remember dream minds like poetry, even when the rest fades. Dream analysis can treat dialogue as a clue about inner conflict and inner care. Notice which lines sting and which lines soothe. Notice whether you argued, listened, or walked away. Also notice tone. A gentle voice can carry a hard truth. A harsh voice can repeat an old criticism. If you want to work with dream dialogue, write it down immediately. Later, ask what part of you needed to say it and what part of you needed to hear it. Characters may mirror parts of yourself rarely voiced. Dream characters often behave in ways that feel unfamiliar, and that is exactly why they matter. A bold stranger might do what you would never dare. A cruel figure might say what your inner critic whispers. A protector might appear when you feel depleted. These characters are not always symbols, and they are not always about other people. They can be the mind giving shape to impulses you keep quiet. Dream analysis becomes powerful when you ask, what quality did this character embody? Was it confidence, suspicion, tenderness, hunger, or rage? Then ask where that quality lives in you, even in small amounts. Some people find it helpful to imagine speaking with the character while awake, not to make the dream literal, but to understand the need underneath it. A character who attacks might be guarding a wound. A character who helps might represent a strength you forgot you had. Dreams can outsource your own hidden voices into a cast, so you can finally hear them clearly. Dream journals become personal datasets over time. A dream journal is more than a notebook. After weeks and months, it becomes a record of how your inner life responds to seasons, stress, relationships, and change. One dream can be random. A collection can reveal themes that repeat with surprising consistency. You might notice that certain settings appear when you feel pressured, or that particular emotions surge when you are avoiding a decision. You can also see shifts, like a recurring fear dream fading after you set a boundary, or a certain person appearing during periods of loneliness. This is not fortune-telling. It is pattern recognition. Dream analysis benefits from this long view because it reduces overreaction to any single night. It also helps you separate signal from noise. If a theme appears once, it might be odd. If it appears 10 times, it may be a message about your current life. Over time, the journal becomes a map. It shows what your mind rehearses, what it returns to, and what it slowly releases. Tagging dreams by emotion reveals patterns faster than symbols. Symbols can be slippery, because the same image can mean different things on different nights. Emotion is steadier. If you label each dream with a few feeling words, you can spot patterns quickly. You might see that frustration shows up before you meet a certain person, or that shame appears after you overcommit, or that relief arrives only when you leave a place. This method is also simple, which makes it usable. You do not need a theory. You need honesty. Dream analysis often becomes clearer when you treat dreams like mood recordings. The plot is the wrapper, and the feeling is the core. Tagging also helps you track change. If anxiety tags decrease over time, something in your life is shifting. If anger tags rise, something may be asking for action. You can still explore symbols later, but emotion tags give you an immediate handle. They turn a fog of strange scenes into a trend line of your inner weather, and that can guide real choices in waking life. Asking what felt true reveals waking beliefs. A dream can be bizarre, yet it can carry a moment that feels completely convincing. You might feel certain that you are unwanted, or that you are responsible for everyone, or that you will fail if you rest. Those feelings can be so strong that they seem like facts inside the dream. That is why a useful question is not what happened, but what felt true. Dreams can reveal beliefs you do not say out loud, because they show you how your nervous system reacts when logic is not in charge. If a dream made you feel unlovable, that belief might already exist in the background of your day. If a dream made you feel powerful, that belief might be trying to surface. Dream analysis can use these moments to identify core stories you live by. Once you name a belief, you can test it in waking life. Is it accurate? Is it old? Is it borrowed? And is it helping you? A dream can expose a belief in its raw form, and that is a rare kind of clarity. Repeating settings show where attention returns. Some dream locations behave like recurring stages. You keep returning to the same school corridor, the same airport, the same mall, the same house that is not quite yours. These settings can matter because they are linked to certain kinds of challenges. A school setting might return when you feel evaluated. An airport might return when you feel in transition. A workplace might return when responsibility feels heavy. The setting is not a prophecy. It is a theme park your mind built because it knows what emotions will happen there. Dream analysis can ask what that place demands of you. Do you navigate it confidently, or do you feel lost? Do you meet allies there, or do you feel watched? Over time, you may notice that the setting changes as you change. The once frightening hallway becomes ordinary. The crowded terminal becomes manageable. Repeating settings are useful because they let you measure growth. They show where your attention keeps landing, and they show whether the emotional charge is rising, holding, or fading. The dreamer's meaning matters more than outside interpretation. It is tempting to hand your dream to an expert and ask for the answer. Yet dreams are built from your memories, your fears, your humor, and your private associations. An outsider can offer ideas, but they cannot feel what you felt in the dream. They also cannot know what a symbol has meant in your life, which can be more important than what it means in mythology or tradition. Dream analysis works best when interpretation is collaborative, and when the dreamer remains the authority on resonance. A helpful guide asks questions instead of delivering verdicts. What stood out? What surprised you? What did you want? What did you avoid? This approach also protects against projection. If someone insists your dream must mean one thing, they may be hearing their own story, not yours. Your dream is a personal language, and you learned it over a lifetime. The goal is not to translate it into a universal dictionary. The goal is to understand what your mind is trying to communicate in its own voice. Shared themes can carry different meanings for different people. Two people can both dream of being chased, and their dreams can be about completely different pressures. For one, the chase may echo unpaid bills and constant deadlines. For another, it may echo a relationship they cannot escape emotionally. Even when the imagery matches, the meaning can diverge because each person's history is different. This is why comparing dreams can be both comforting and misleading. It can be comforting to know you are not alone in certain themes. It can be misleading if you assume a shared theme equals a shared cause. Dream analysis can hold both truths. Humans share basic emotions, and our brains have similar ways of expressing fear, desire, shame, and hope. Yet each dream uses personal references to express those emotions. A school may mean opportunity to one person and humiliation to another. A crowd may mean belonging to one person and threat to another. If you listen to someone else's dream, curiosity is better than certainty. Ask what it felt like for them and what it reminded them of. Meaning lives in association, not in the image alone. Dreams exaggerate emotions so they cannot be ignored. In waking life, you can downplay a problem, distract yourself, or stay busy enough to avoid feeling. Dreams remove many of those options. They can amplify an emotion until it fills the whole scene, like fear that becomes a monster, or loneliness that becomes an empty city. This exaggeration can feel cruel, but it can also be useful. The dream is forcing attention towards something your mind thinks matters. It is like turning up the volume on an inner signal that has been stuck at a whisper. Dream analysis can ask what emotion was amplified and where that emotion is being minimized in your day. If a dream makes embarrassment unbearable, maybe you are acting confident while feeling insecure. If a dream makes anger explode, maybe you are smiling through resentment. The exaggeration is not always a command to act immediately. Sometimes it is a request to notice. Once you notice, you can choose how to respond with more care. Dreams can make feelings big enough to meet, because small feelings are easy to dismiss. Some dreams soften truths until you are ready. Not every dream hits like a hammer. Some dreams approach hard material indirectly, as if your mind is easing you toward a reality you resist. A dream might show loss as a distant departure rather than a death. It might present conflict through a fictional argument instead of the real person you fear confronting. It might wrap a painful theme in humor so you can stay present without shutting down. This softening can be a form of emotional pacing. The mind is testing how much you can tolerate. Dream analysis can respect that pacing by staying curious without forcing conclusions. If a dream feels gentle, ask what truth it carried beneath that gentleness. If a dream feels strangely calm about something serious, ask whether you are beginning to accept a change. Sometimes the dream is offering a safe rehearsal, where you feel the edge of grief, the edge of anger, or the edge of desire, without being overwhelmed. It can be the mind's way of saying, "You can handle this, but we will take it in steps." Others are simply noise shaped into story. Some dreams have no hidden lesson. They are the mind doing what it always does, which is turning fragments into a narrative. A stray memory, a body sensation, a random association, and suddenly you have a plot. You might dream of a nonsense conversation, a shifting hallway, or a scene that feels like channel surfing. Dream analysis does not have to force meaning onto these dreams to be valuable. In fact, recognizing noise can be freeing. It prevents you from treating every strange image as a crisis or every scary moment as a prophecy. The brain is active at night, and activity produces content. Sometimes that content is meaningful because it connects to your life. Sometimes it is meaningful only as evidence that your brain is creative and busy. If you wake from a dream that feels pointless, you can still ask one useful question. How did it leave you feeling? If the emotion is strong, it might be worth exploring. If the emotion is neutral, you can let it go without guilt. Not every dream is a message. Some are just sparks from the workshop. Dream work respects uncertainty by design. The most honest approach to dreams allows room for not knowing. A dream can hold multiple layers at once, like memory, emotion, body sensation, and imagination, all braided together. If you rush to certainty, you can miss the real value, which is curiosity. Dream analysis is less like solving a math problem, and more like listening to music. You notice themes, shifts, tension, and release. You test interpretations by asking whether they resonate and whether they lead to insight or relief. A good interpretation should open the mind, not trap it. This is why careful dream work uses questions and options, not rigid declarations. It also keeps you humble because your mind can surprise you. You can think you know what a dream means, then a later dream reframes it completely. Uncertainty is not failure. It is a feature. It keeps the process alive. It also protects you from superstition and overconfidence. In the end, dream work is a conversation with your own inner life. Conversations require listening, patience, and the courage to say, "I am not sure yet, but I am willing to explore." Ancient Greeks sought guidance through ritual dream sleep. People traveled to healing sanctuaries and slept in special spaces, hoping for a dream that mattered. The practice was called incubation, and it treated sleep like an appointment with the unknown. A person might fast, bathe, offer a gift, then lie down with a question held in mind. In the morning, they told their dream to attendants who helped interpret what it suggested. Sometimes the guidance was symbolic, like an animal that hinted at a treatment. Sometimes it was direct, like a command to change a habit. The most fascinating part is the social design. Dreams were not private entertainment. They were woven into medicine, religion, and decision-making. Even skeptics can appreciate the psychology. When you set an intention before sleep, your mind keeps working on it. The Greeks built an entire public ritual around that simple truth. Mesopotamian texts recorded dreams as personal messages. In the ancient Near East, dreams were important enough to be written down on clay tablets. Some accounts describe rulers taking dreams seriously because the stakes were survival and power. A disturbing dream could lead to a change in policy, a new alliance, or a ritual meant to reduce risk. Dream interpreters were trained, and interpretation had rules, traditions, and debates. What feels modern is the impulse to document. Writing turns a fleeting night experience into something shareable, comparable, and discussable. It also turns dream meaning into a cultural project rather than a private feeling. For dream analysis today, these texts are a reminder that people have long believed the night mind carries information. The difference is the explanation. Ancient writers often framed dreams as messages from gods. Modern readers may see them as messages from the brain. Either way, the human urge is the same. We wake up and ask, what was that trying to tell me? Medieval manuals tried standardizing dream symbols. In medieval Europe and beyond, dream books promised order in a world that often felt unpredictable. They offered lists of images and suggested meanings, as if the night spoke a shared language that could be translated. A fish might mean profit. A storm might mean conflict. The appeal was certainty. If you could decode a dream, you could feel less lost. These manuals also spread widely because they were practical to copy, trade, and teach. Yet standardization has a hidden cost. It can flatten the dreamer's personal history. One person's ocean is another person's trauma. Dream analysis today often pushes back against these manuals, not to mock them, but to reclaim nuance. Still, they teach something valuable. People have always wanted dreams to be legible. They want night experience to connect to day life. The medieval dream book is an early attempt to build a shared map for private mystery. Indigenous traditions link dreams with community duty. In many indigenous cultures, dreams are not treated as isolated personal puzzles. They can be tied to responsibilities, relationships, and the well-being of the group. A dream might be shared with elders, discussed with family, or used to guide choices about hunting, travel, healing, or ceremony. In some traditions, dreams are seen as a way of learning, and the learning is meant to be lived out through action, not just interpreted. That community frame changes everything. It shifts dream analysis from self-obsession to reciprocity. It also creates accountability. If a dream carries a warning, you consider how it affects others. If it carries guidance, you ask how to use it wisely. This does not mean every culture treats dreams the same way. It means many cultures treat them as connected, not private. For listeners today, it is a useful challenge. What if a dream is not only about you? What if it is also about how you show up for others? Some cultures share dreams as daily ritual. In certain communities, telling dreams in the morning is as normal as talking about the weather. That habit changes dream life. When you expect to share a dream, you pay more attention to it. You remember more detail because your mind treats the dream as socially valuable. Over time, dream sharing can become a kind of emotional check-in. People learn what worries are rising, what hopes are returning, and what conflicts are simmering beneath polite conversation. It can also be a way of teaching children to notice feelings and patterns, because dreams offer a safe story format. There is a fascinating feedback loop here. Culture shapes what dreams you report, and what you report shapes what your community treats as meaningful. Dream analysis in this setting is not a solitary detective work. It is a shared language practice. Even if you never adopt daily sharing, the idea is powerful. Dreams become clearer when they are welcomed into daylight. Dream interpretation shaped religions and political decisions. Across history, leaders have used dreams as justification for choices that affected thousands. A dream could be presented as divine approval, a warning, or a mandate to act. Religious movements have also drawn energy from dream experiences, especially when a dream felt vivid and morally urgent. The dream becomes a story with authority because it arrives from a place that feels beyond ordinary thought. That power can inspire courage, compassion, and reform. It can also be used to manipulate because dreams are hard to disprove. This is why dream analysis benefits from humility. A dream can feel certain while still being shaped by fear, desire, and expectation. The historical record shows both sides. Dreams have sparked pilgrimages, battles, and laws. They have also comforted individuals and strengthened communities. The important insight is not that dreams are magic. It is that dreams carry emotional force, and emotional force can move people. When a society treats dreams as messages, dreams can become political. Modern science reframed dreams as brain activity. Instead of asking what a dream foretells, modern research often asks what processes produce it. That shift moved dreams from prophecy into physiology, memory, and emotion. Scientists began to link dream vividness to sleep stages and to test ideas by waking people at different times. They compared dream reports, measured brain signals, and looked for patterns that could be studied. This approach did not erase meaning. It changed the kind of meaning we talk about. A dream might reflect stress, learning, or emotional processing, even if it does not predict the future. For dream analysis, this is liberating. It gives you permission to explore a dream without superstition. It also adds new tools, like understanding how sleep habits, substances, and health conditions can shape dream tone. Science brings dreams into the same world as everything else, which means they can be fascinating without being mystical. The night mind becomes a window into the brain doing what it does best. It builds models of reality, even when the eyes are closed. Early sleep labs transformed dreams into measurable data. The shift from story to measurement began when researchers built spaces where sleep could be monitored with electrodes and careful observation. Instead of relying only on morning memories, they recorded brain waves, eye movements, and muscle tone through the night. Then they woke sleepers and asked, "What was happening in your mind right now?" This method linked subjective dream reports to objective sleep stages. It also revealed patterns that were invisible before, like how often people wake without remembering, or how dream recall depends on timing. The lab setting was strange, yet it opened a door. Dreams became something you could study repeatedly, across many nights, with comparable results. Dream analysis today still benefits from that foundation, even outside the lab. It reminds us that dreams are not random folklore. They are events that correlate with physical states. The story matters, but the body context matters too. Early sleep labs built the bridge between private experience and public evidence. The discovery of REM reshaped dream research. When researchers identified a sleep stage marked by rapid eye movements, they also found a strong link to vivid dreaming. Waking people during that stage often produced rich reports with emotion and story. Waking them in other stages often produced quieter, thought-like content. That finding changed the field because it gave dream study a reliable target. Dreams were no longer only a mystery. They had a biological rhythm. REM also helped explain why dreams can feel so real, because the brain is active in ways that support imagery and emotion. This discovery did not solve every question. People still dream outside REM, and not every REM awakening produces a dream report. Still, REM gave researchers a handle, like finding a river in a fog. Dream analysis gained a new layer too. If you know when a dream likely occurred, you can better understand its texture. A dawn dream may feel cinematic because it is tied to REM-rich sleep. REM turned dream research into a map, not just a legend. Today, dream study blends neuroscience, psychology, and culture. Modern dream research rarely lives in one discipline. Neuroscience studies sleep stages, brain networks, and the chemistry that shapes dreaming. Psychology studies emotion, memory, trauma, and the personal meaning people make after waking. Cultural research studies how dream sharing, belief systems, and language shape what is remembered and reported. This blend matters because dreams sit at a crossroads. They are biological events, and they are lived experiences, and they are also stories shaped by culture. A brain scan alone cannot tell you why a dream matters to a person. A personal interpretation alone cannot explain why certain dream features cluster in REM sleep. When fields meet, you get a fuller picture. Dream analysis becomes both more grounded and more flexible. You can respect the body's role while still honoring the dreamer's associations. You can explore symbols without claiming universals. You can talk about fear circuits and still talk about grief. The night mind is complicated, and the best research treats that complexity as the point. Content analysis tracks dream trends across populations. Instead of interpreting a single dream like a riddle, content analysis looks at many dream reports and codes what appears. Researchers may count characters, settings, emotions, aggression, friendliness, and social roles. Over large samples, patterns emerge. Certain themes become more common at certain ages. Some types of stress increase certain types of dream conflict. Groups can differ based on culture, life circumstances, or health. This method is fascinating because it treats dreams like a kind of psychological weather data. You can track climates and seasons, not just storms. It also helps dream analysis stay honest. If a theme is common across thousands of people, it may reflect shared human concerns rather than a unique hidden message. At the same time, population trends do not replace personal meaning. They add context. Knowing that chase dreams are common does not tell you why yours is happening now. Content analysis gives you the wide lens, so you can better interpret the close-up. Dream reports shift when observation is expected. The simple fact of being studied can change what people say. When someone knows they will be asked about dreams, they may remember more because they pay attention on waking. They may also shape the story to sound coherent because humans like to tell clean narratives. In a lab, they may feel pressure to report something interesting, even if the dream was vague. At home, they may forget details because no one asked. This is not dishonesty. It is how memory and storytelling work. Dream analysis benefits from acknowledging this because it reminds you that dream recall is not a perfect recording. It is a reconstruction. That does not make it useless. It makes it human. You can reduce distortion by writing quickly before your mind edits. You can also note uncertainty, like saying, "I am not sure about the ending." The fascinating takeaway is that attention shapes experience. When you treat dreams as meaningful, you see them more clearly. When you treat them as noise, they fade. Observation is part of the dream system. Awakening method alters what dreams are recalled. How you wake can determine what you remember. A sudden alarm can yank you into alertness, and the dream may vanish before you can grasp it. A softer awakening can leave you closer to the dream state, which makes recall easier. Waking during certain sleep stages also matters. If you wake out of active dreaming, you are more likely to capture a vivid story. If you wake after a stage shift, you may remember only fragments or nothing at all. Even body position can play a role, because moving quickly can disrupt the fragile memory trace. Dream analysis becomes easier when you respect this window. If recall matters to you, give yourself a few seconds of stillness. Let the dream float up before you chase the day. This is not about obsession. It is about technique. Dreams are not rare, but remembering them can be. The way you wake is like the way you handle a soap bubble. Rough contact pops it. Careful contact carries it. Recall improves with training and intention. Dream recall is often treated as luck, yet it behaves more like a skill. When you set an intention before sleep, your brain is more likely to search for dream memory on waking. Keeping a notebook nearby reinforces that intention. Over time, many people go from remembering nothing to remembering fragments, then scenes, then full sequences. The training is not complicated. It is repeated attention. You also learn your own cues. Some people recall best after a brief waking in the night. Some recall best after waking naturally. Some recall best when they stay still and replay the last moment first. Dream analysis benefits from this because it means you can gather better material. The dream world becomes less like a rumor and more like a record. There is also a psychological shift. When you practice recall, you treat your inner life as worth listening to. That attitude can increase insight, even before you interpret anything. You begin to notice patterns because you finally have enough data to notice them. Frequent waking increases recall but harms rest. There is a trade-off many dream enthusiasts discover. If you wake often, you are more likely to catch dreams, because waking is when you store and report them. Yet waking often can fragment sleep, and fragmented sleep can leave you tired, irritable, and less resilient. That fatigue can also influence dream tone, sometimes making dreams more intense and less pleasant. Dream analysis works best when it supports well-being, not when it competes with it. If you are waking repeatedly just to record dreams, You may be collecting more stories at the cost of your nervous system's recovery. A healthier approach is to create one small recall window, like a few minutes on waking, rather than many interruptions. If you wait naturally in the night, you can jot a word or two, then return to sleep. The key is balance. Dreams can be fascinating, but sleep is the foundation they rise from. Good dream work should protect the sleeper first, and the journal second. Dream sharing builds intimacy through safe vulnerability. Telling someone a dream can be a surprisingly tender act. A dream often reveals fears and longings in a way that feels less exposing than direct confession. You can say, "I dreamed you left," without accusing them of wanting to leave. You can admit shame, anger, or desire through story, which can make the conversation safer. Dream sharing can also create a sense of being known, because a dream contains private emotional weather that the day does not always show. The dream analysis. Sharing can be useful because another person can ask questions you would not ask yourself. What part felt strongest? What did you want? What did you avoid? Still, the safest sharing is consent-based. Not everyone wants to hold another person's dream. When shared well, a dream becomes a bridge. It invites empathy without demanding agreement. It can also soften conflict because it brings hidden feelings into the open without blame. The dream is not evidence in a trial. It is a window, offered gently and received with care. Therapists use dreams to reach emotion gently. In therapy, a dream can act like a side door into feelings that are hard to approach directly. A client may struggle to say, "I feel powerless," yet they can describe a dream where they cannot move or cannot speak. The dream provides a story that carries the emotion, and that story can be explored without immediate defensiveness. Therapists may ask about the dream's turning points, the relationships in it, and the feelings that surged. They may also ask what the dream reminds the client of in waking life. This is not about declaring one true meaning. It is about using the dream as material for reflection. Dreams can also reveal conflicts that a person has normalized, like constant caretaking or constant self-criticism. Because dreams exaggerate, they make those patterns easier to notice. For dream analysis, this highlights a simple principle. Sometimes a dream is valuable because it makes emotion speakable. It gives you an object to point to. You can say, "This is what my mind did last night," and you can explore why, without shame. The dream becomes a gentle entry into the honest parts. Ethical dream work follows consent and care. Dreams can contain secrets, and they can also contain vulnerable distortions. That is why ethics matter. If someone shares a dream, they should remain in control of how it is discussed. They can say, "I do not want to go there," and that should be respected. Ethical dream work also avoids forcing interpretations. Telling someone what their dream must mean can be intrusive, especially if it touches trauma, sexuality, or family history. A better approach is curiosity and options. What did it feel like? What did it remind you of? What possibilities seem to fit? Another ethical point is privacy. Dreams can involve real people, but sharing details about those people can still be sensitive. Dream analysis is most helpful when it is empowering, not colonizing. It should help the dreamer understand themselves, not make them dependent on an interpreter. The care also extends to realism. Sometimes a disturbing dream reflects stress, illness, or medication, not hidden desire. Ethical work checks those possibilities before it dives into symbolism. Consent and care keep dream exploration safe, and safety makes insight possible. Technology tracks REM but cannot read meaning. Wearables can estimate sleep stages using movement, heart rate, and other signals. Some devices even highlight likely REM windows, which can help you notice patterns in your sleep schedule. That information can be useful, yet it has a clear limit. A device can tell you something about the body, but it cannot tell you what you dreamed. It cannot know who appeared, what you felt, or what the dream meant to you. Two people can have similar REM patterns and completely different dream lives. Even in a lab, researchers infer dreaming from timing and reports, not from a direct dream scan. Dream analysis still belongs to the dreamer because meaning lives in association. Technology can support that work by helping you sleep better, which often changes dream tone. It can also help you notice what disrupts rest, like late caffeine or irregular schedules. The most fascinating point is the boundary. We can measure the stage where dreams often happen, yet the private cinema remains private. The story is still yours to tell. The deepest dream insight often reveals what you truly feel. A dream can be strange in plot and simple in message. It can show you that you are lonely, even if you stay busy. It can show you that you are angry, even if you keep smiling. It can show you that you are afraid of being left behind, even if you act independent. Dreams often cut around your daytime explanations and go straight to emotional truth. That truth is not always comfortable, but it is often clarifying. The insight usually arrives when you name the feeling, not when you decode the scenery. Ask what emotion dominated. Ask what you wanted. Ask what you feared losing. Then notice where that same feeling lives in your waking life. This does not mean every dream is profound. Some are noise. Yet when a dream hits you and lingers, it often points to something your body already knows. Dream analysis becomes powerful when it helps you meet that feeling with honesty. You do not need a dictionary. You need attention and courage. The dream's gift is often emotional accuracy, delivered in the language of story. As our journey through dream analysis comes to a close, you can let the ideas settle like soft snow in the mind. We wandered through ancient temples and clay tablets, through medieval manuals and modern laboratories. We listened to how the sleeping brain builds whole worlds, how memory remixes itself into fresh scenes, and how emotion can steer the story without asking permission. We noticed how common dreams speak in everyday symbols, like exams, storms, locked doors, and endless corridors. We explored how grief can visit at night, how stress can turn up the volume, and how healing can begin when a nightmare learns a new ending. We also made space for the simple truth that not every dream is a coded message. Sometimes the brain is only doing what it does best, shaping fragments into story. And now, you do not need to solve anything. You do not need to interpret your dreams perfectly or hold on to every detail. You can simply allow your thoughts to slow, as if the mind is closing a book after a long and fascinating chapter. If you enjoyed this nighttime exploration, you might like to stay with us a little longer. You can leave a kind word, tap like or subscribe, so these sleepier science stories can find more people who need them. And if you're still awake, there will be another video waiting on the screen. Let it carry you onward without effort, like stepping into the next room of a familiar house. For now, let your shoulders drop. Let your jaw unclench. Feel the weight of your body supported, and let the day loosen its grip. Your dreams can wait until morning. Sleep well, and good night.